Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter. Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter, and welcome to Goldilocks Global Banking News. I am your host. Fine folks, if you missed the Saturday Night Dialogues call this past Saturday on March the 22nd, you missed a very powerful call. We had 3 members share their bank update stories. Follow the Bouncing Ball, Dr. E, and then also Sweet Pea. Their stories all different but very unique. But they all shared that they all have a peaceful presence and feeling now as a result of their relationships. Even one of them shared where the banker knows that they have currency. In fact, the banker has currency herself. Her staff has currency. And her wealth manager, it's Dr. E, her wealth manager, agreed to exchange her currency for her. We have so many members that are establishing such great relationships with the bankers. And the bankers, once the relationship is established, are opening up to our members, even to the point of having second, third, and fourth meetings, lunch, dinners, coming to the home, signing agreements to exchange our members' currencies. Our members are following 8 steps that we share in the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues room. If they can do it, why not you? You have a golden opportunity. Just click the link at the top of the description. Join the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues room. We will wrap our arms around you. Wiley, myself, the tribe, we are there every day, breaking down Goldilocks articles and sharing the steps for people to establish those relationships. Come on and join us. It's best that you get on board this train now, because once it leaves the station, you don't want to be left behind. Folks, today Goldilocks is sharing some very, very key information regarding stablecoins. It is stablecoins that will back all countries' currencies and gold to back them, that enables the global currency reset RV. Let's jump right into what Goldilocks is dropping today. Folks, we all know, or you may know, I should say, what is going to happen on April the 2nd. No, April the 2nd is not April Fool's Day. That's the day before. April the 2nd is when the reciprocal tariffs go into effect that President Trump is enacting on various countries. You've heard Goldilocks have shared before the impact of reciprocal tariffs on foreign currencies. Reciprocal tariffs will impact the values of foreign currencies. No, I'm just be straight. I know some might think April the 2nd, boom, all currencies change to their real values. No, but we can say this is the process of all currencies beginning the equilibrium for the values of their currencies. This is a process. So on April the 2nd, the banking system will begin the process of synchronizing into the new digital banking system. Goldilocks is sharing that it is a process and not an event. Again, it's a process and not an event. So the process, folks, you must allow it to take its course. There is no coincidence why the bankers are opening up to our members now, unlike before. When years ago, gurus were sending people to the banks, bombarding them, and they got blacklisted then, and many are getting blacklisted now because they don't have Goldilocks, Wiley, Freedom Fighter, and the tribe to guide them through this process. Several changes will take place in the month of April, Goldilocks is stating, as we transition into the new digital asset-based banking system. A major shift in the way money is transferred across borders will take place in April. Look for stablecoins to lead the way. Folks, over 90% of countries around the world who have stablecoins backing their currencies, all of them, those 90% or so, their stablecoins are denominated in the US dollar. For those of you who are thinking, oh my God, isn't the dollar going to crash? No, it'll be backed by gold. Gold prevents any financial crisis or crash to any economy, any currencies. There is going to be a shift, yes, in the US dollar to its real value, but it won't be a crash. Gold will not allow that to happen because gold will back all currencies, including the US dollar. During the month of April, we will be experiencing the Easter season as well. Goldilocks is sharing. It is a day filled with symbolism of new life and rebirth. Can be seen as a powerful time of transition, both in a religious context, which is Christ's resurrection, and in a broader personal sense, representing the potential for transformation and fresh beginnings. Changing the structure of our financial system are about to go full swing as of April the 2nd. Reciprocal tariffs are incoming. Remember, it was the reciprocal tariffs by former President Roosevelt in the 1930s that he enacted to get the United States out of the Great Depression, to boost our economy. President Trump is doing the same thing. Goes into effect April the 2nd. These reciprocal tariffs will raise the standards for stable coins. What will back our currencies? Stable coins. What will we need as the digital asset regulations go into effect? Stable coins. What's going to back the dinar, the dong, the US dollar, every currency? Stable coins. Because stable coins will create stability to back each country's currency. So just imagine you exchange into the new banking system with no stability behind the US dollar or whatever currency that you will exchange into. Just imagine no stability to back the currencies of your home country. You exchange all of this money, this newfound wealth, and there's no stability in your home currency. The stable coins to back that currency, with gold to back that currency. It creates the strength and the stability to maintain that currency's new value. Stable coins, a form of cryptocurrency, are pegged to the US dollar and backed by assets such as US Treasury securities and corporate bonds. Vietnam has a stablecoin. Through the movement of treasury bonds inside stablecoins and trade with other countries, the demand for stablecoins will increase the values of treasury bonds. When these U.S. treasury bonds are strengthened, so were our currencies as well. And folks, I know when you hear bonds, even this is speaking of U.S. treasury bonds, which are real bonds. Many of you may hear the word or the term bonds, and your mind immediately goes to a Zim bond. It immediately goes to what are these other, these German bonds, these Swiss bonds, or whatever that's out there. These various bonds that in dinar land have been pumped up, promoted, dragged out into the world as legitimate bonds. The U.S. Treasury bonds are the only real bonds that have any effect related to the RV. Because Treasury bonds, which stable coins in the new digital banking system, will be backed by U.S. Treasury bonds. There is no stable coin, no currency, nothing of such that will be backed by any other bonds that you've been told will do anything. So let me be even more clear when it comes to bonds. There is no bond that will be redeemed for anyone in dinar land, on the internet, on Twitter, in a Telegram room, on YouTube, anywhere, nowhere in the world. Any of these bonds, the dragons, the lizards, the grasshopper bonds, folks, do your own research and due diligence. Do not allow yourself to be investing your time, energy, and emotion and money into what are called collectible bonds. Collectible bonds are the equivalent of wallpaper. They're not real. They are real rumors that the gurus have told you to invest in. I won't keep going into that detail, but since we are talking about U.S. Treasury bonds that will back stable coins in the new digital banking system, I know how people hear. You are triggered by hearing the word bond, even if it was James Bond. Many will get triggered thinking that you will be a gazillionaire for redeeming a bond at the porta potty. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not diversified into real authentic currencies, you may not be aware of ISO 4217, which shows the active, recognized financial instruments throughout the banking system, currencies, bonds, notes, and the like. If you are not aware, to know that you can look at this, and we've shared it in the Goldilocks QFS dialogues room, to see what and what is not recognized to be exchanged or redeemed in the banking system. Many of you have invested in bonds that don't exist and are not recognized in the global banking system because they're just collectible bonds. It is like someone who paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for a race car and for NASCAR or the Formula 100, 500, whatever it is. They paid hundreds of thousands of dollars and invested in the race car to make them a ton of money as they race the car. They can sell that car if it's in good condition and get some money for it. But if a child, goes to Walmart and his parent buys a match car, race car, and those little, maybe for Christmas or something, for the little race cars that go on the little baby race tracks, can buy that same Formula car, NASCAR car. Mom only paid $25 for that little Matchbox car. Many of you have invested in Matchbox bonds. You don't even realize it. The gurus have told you to go buy these things. Half price off today, a quarter price off tomorrow. You'll become a gazillionaire. Folks, I want to make sure that you understand you do not have but a short window to get this right. Treasury bonds, folks, is what will back the stable coins that back the currencies around the world for the RV. You do not have treasury bonds. You have Matchbox bonds. Folks, this is why I'm continuing. This is why foreign currencies have been printing more currency for themselves around the world. More countries have been printing currencies, backing them with stable coins, which most of them are backed and denominated, the stable coins that is, in U.S. Treasury bonds, which will be backed by gold. And using the same process that these countries are doing to back their currencies with stable coins. Just think, with the Genius Act from a couple of weeks ago, it's about stable coins. President Trump's digital asset regulations is to regulate stable coins. There's no regulations that exist for these Matchbox bonds that gurus told you to go buy. These dragons, lizards, Komodo bonds. And using the same process around the world, folks, foreign currencies backed by stable coins will strengthen the value of each country's currency in foreign trade practices. This will in turn raise the value of global currencies, leveling the playing field for all of the countries around the world. It is U.S. Treasury bonds backing the stable coins, all backed collectively by gold. In the new digital banking system that will level the playing field, which the race begins. The gun will go off when the reciprocal tariffs go into effect on April the 2nd. Folks, do not be the one who has held on to the belief that you have invested in a so-called bond that will make you a gazillionaire. There is no planet in God's universe where that exists. Also, There is no one who will be legitimately posting the word victory in all caps to represent he or she has gotten paid by the bonds that you can look up on the internet and just Google Dragon bonds or any of the bonds, and you'll see stock photos. These same bonds, so-called bonds, which are pictures from the internet that someone has posted to claim that it's their bonds. No one can take a government bond and resell it anywhere in the world legally. That doesn't exist. Nowhere in the financial world can someone resell or even sell a portion of a government bond. No matter what government it is, no one can sell. That's like someone selling a fraction of your birth certificate or social security card to some person on Telegram. Can that be done legally or at all? And they expect to cash in on the value of your birth certificate, which is a bond, or your social security card, which is a bond. Same thing. How is it possible? It doesn't exist. If someone is a quote unquote whale, why would a whale be on Telegram or any channel in the world on the internet selling fractions of anything for profit if they are a whale? They sound to be like they are more of a piranha. Not even a goldfish. That's too much credit. More of a piranha. So folks, be mindful. Do your due diligence. Do not be the one who is left at the station when this glorious event happens and you are left with collectible bonds that have no value, dragons, lizards, by whales, allegedly. You might want to check folks' criminal backgrounds while you're at it. I'm doing my best to make sure I reach one of you so that you can change your life and your many generations to come without getting caught up and left at the station with collectible bonds that you can go wipe your behind with. But if this is your choice, the consequences are going to be very painful for you. I share this with the utmost love. I hope you receive it that way. Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter.